Brian Buckmeyer here to explain what's called the spark of life testimony from Floyd's girlfriend. Brian?
The spark of life testimony, interestingly enough, comes from a 1985 Minnesota Supreme Court case where an officer was killed and the prosecutor was allowed to bring in information of his past. The court said that a prosecutor is allowed to show that a person who's deceased is more than just skin, tendons, and bones, that they actually had a spark of life before their death. However, they cannot use that testimony to inflame the passions of the jury. Now, Ross, no relation to Brian Ross, the witness, says she met Floyd in August of 2017. She says his pet name for her was Mama. She says Floyd struggled with drug addiction, especially after his mother's death in 2018. But they both tried to get clean in March 2020 while the country went into lockdown for the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic.
It's a classic story of how many people get addicted to opioids. We both suffered from chronic pain. Mine was in my neck and his was in his back.
Was there a period then after March where you thought the two of you had both been able to quit for a while?
Yes, a long period.
Kind of going forward to May of 2020, was there a time when you thought he might be using again?
Yes. It was the same type of thing, just behavior changes in Floyd.
And did you also kind of fall back to using opioids in May of 2020?
One time, yes.
And he was aware of that?
Yes.
On cross-examination of Courtney Ross, the defense questioned her about an overdose that nearly killed Floyd 2 months before he died.
He wasn't feeling good. His stomach really hurt. He was doubled over in pain. Just wasn't feeling well, and he said he had to go to the hospital, so I took him straight to the hospital.
Did you notice foam coming from his mouth?
I noticed like some kind of, foam building in the corners of his mouth, kind of
Like
dry.
A dry white substance?
Mm-hmm.
And did you learn what caused that overdose?
No.
At that time frame, did you learn that Mr. Floyd was taking anything other than opioids?
No.
You did not know that he had taken heroin at that time?
No.
The defense then moved on to ask her about her statements to the FBI, which is also investigating the case. FBI agents asked her about buying drugs just a week before Floyd's death.
We got pills in May that reminded me of the same feeling. I don't know if they were the same pills. I don't know where they came from.
Okay. So you had a second experience with those pills, right? Or a similar feeling to those pills?
I had a similar experience, yes.
Right. And that was approximately a week before Mr. Floyd's passing?
Yes.
And by similar experience, you recall telling the FBI that when you had that, you felt like you were going to die?
I don't remember saying that, but I did see it in the transcript.
Okay. And is that how you felt, like you were going to die?
I don't remember feeling that way, no. I didn't recall